Hey everyone, it's Heidi with Healthy Looks Beautiful, and I'm coming to you today to talk to you again about the sugar thing. So yesterday I gave you some reasons why we shouldn't be eating sugar, and I've got a few more to give you today, and then I'm going to talk to you about the next step in the process for cutting out the sugar. And so let's talk first about why we shouldn't be eating it. So last episode we talked about a few dangers, and so this week we're going to talk about the addiction piece. And so my background is in prevention of drugs and alcohol and some obesity. And so this is like big for me. I mean, I love and thrive on this kind of stuff. So sugar is like a drug. It is like heroin or cocaine that when you put it into your body, it starts these things in your brain. I'm not going to get all scientific on you, but you have dopamine receptors in your brain, and it like floods, it like releases that dopamine into your brain. It like tons of it. And it like gets it really happy and really excited. And so that sugar causes that high for you, like if you were on a drug. And so it releases a lot of that dopamine and it takes you way up, but then it also causes a major crash. And so you probably have experienced that crash after you've had that sugar in the afternoon or something. And so it'll take you clear down lower than where you started. And so, it can be very dangerous and damaging because then we want to try to get it back up to normal. And so what do? We eat sugar again, which then releases those and you go all the way back up again. So it's like a roller coaster. And for those people that are really susceptible to addiction, it can be serious. I mean, it can be similar to a drug addiction. And so it's really important that, if you're susceptible to addiction, you're aware of this because you could be suffering from this sugar addiction because just the way that your body functions and the way your brain releases dopamine in those pleasure centers in your brain. So the addiction piece is huge. It can also cause obesity. Sugar, like we talked about in the last session, sugar is just empty calories. And so it not only impacts your brain, it impacts your liver, it impacts all of your hormones, which is just like the perfect storm. I mean, all of those things together can really cause some major issues and cause you to increase your weight, especially in the belly area. And so there's a lot of studies out there that have shown a link between sugar intake and obesity. There's a crazy fly flying around here. And then the last thing that I want to talk about in regards to why we need to reduce our sugar is it can cause high cholesterol. What? I thought when you talked about that, you talked about high cholesterol. Well, guess what? Sugar can cause it too. So the fructose in your body, when you eat the sugar, it turns into fructose and it affects your metabolism. So it can slow it down. It can cause heart disease. It's also been known to cause elevated triglyceride levels, elevated LDLs. And if you watched my fat video, not fat video, but my video about healthy fats, you will know that LDL is the bad cholesterol and we want to keep those numbers low, but sugar has a tendency to raise it. And so not only does it cause a host of problems we talked about yesterday, but it can also increase your cholesterol. So what are we going to do about it? In the last video on sugar, video number 1, I talked about tracking what you're eating, tracking the amount of sugar that you're eating and keeping track of when it's happening, how you're feeling, and how much you're getting. And so today I'm going to tell you that it's time to cut it out. I would recommend all of it, as much of it as you can. Just like when you're quitting smoking or quitting the use of a drug or alcohol, they recommend that you quit cold turkey. I'm recommending the same thing for sugar. That might be hard to do. You may decide you need to wean yourself off, get rid of the things that are causing, that are the highest amounts of sugar in your diet, some of those big things, and then wean it down to just a few things. I think I'm down to basically a whole wheat bread that has like 2 grams of sugar in it. Otherwise, mine has been cut out, well, this week. Last week was a stress week and I ate sugar. So cutting it out entirely is what I'm gonna ask you to do. If there's a certain time of day you're struggling, be cautious of that. In my next video, I'm gonna talk about how do you handle those withdrawal symptoms, how do you handle those cravings, and we're gonna get to all that information. So, hope you guys found this valuable and this information helpful, and we're gonna be back again with more information in the 3rd series on sugar. So, thanks everyone, and have a great day.